Premier is live again, and this time, don't worry, we're not talking about that stuff. This is national team related, and that is about this. It's about this team. Some of us are actually still patriotic enough, and we still want this team country to do well, especially in football competitions. And the recent failure of both our female national team and our male national team has actually been a kind of burden for me personally. And a lot of people who does not care. Like if you ask one or two people in Nigeria here, they will tell you they don't care what is Nigerian football, what's their business. They don't even watch Super Eagles anymore. They don't even watch the Super Falcons anymore. For somebody like me, I cry inside when I look at the talent that we have and we not be able to achieve something greatness when it comes to football. Now, to discuss this particular this disease and these issues with me is my fellow Nigerians who have the same mind. Some of them also are even more angrier than I am probably, and some of them have their strong thoughts concerning it. To discuss it, let me welcome everybody to the show. First of all, I'm start with Dio. Dio, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up, man? How you guys doing? What's up, people?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Can
said,
you hear
what's
me?
up?
I don't know if
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Favor, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
We can hear you. I said, what's up, people? How's everybody doing, man? How you guys
Can
doing?
everyone hear me?
Yes, we
I'm
can
fine.
hear you.
That you're there with me. I can.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, everybody can hear you.
All right. So,
I think his internet is wigging out, man.
Yeah.
Your connection is wigging out, man, Solomon.
I don't think he can hear you.
Yeah, I know he can't hear me. I'm even just everything he said in his intro. I totally understand where he's coming from, but what just happened right now is exactly why the Super Eagles cannot be successful. We can't get simple internet right in Nigeria. Like this is not an NFF thing. This is not about you cannot fix the NFF if the country is still the way it is. It would not function. The NFF functioning cannot work if the country is the way the country is.
That's the truth.
When I was in school and I did sports and we used to go to like NUGA games, National University games, even up onto university games, West African University games, to get your allowance was a problem.
No way.
Like allowances, yeah. To get your NUGA game allowance was a problem. Money was allocated to give to athletes for you to be able to buy food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. No. Somehow they'll tell you your allowance is supposed to be 15 naira a day. By the time it gets to your hand, it's 15 naira that is getting to your hand. So the issue is not the NFF. The issue is not the talents. The issue is the country. I just said something, Solomon, when you're not here. I said, your internet wigging out is a good example of why Super Eagles are never going to succeed or why football cannot succeed in Nigeria. We cannot get ordinary internet right. You now want the NFF to work. It's not possible. This is not, I'm not dissing the country. Look, I grew up in a time where, dude, the Golden Eaglets were winning things. The Flying Eagles were winning things. 1985, 86. I used to, this was Nigeria's time. Coming into the 90s, 1994, USA 94, when we first qualified for the World Cup, we beat teams like Bulgaria with players like Stoichkov, Balakov, Lechkov. We were beating those teams. And why? Because at that time, you have to remember, Nigeria was still very good and things worked. Some things worked. Yeah, we had maybe some power issues in NEPA and all that, but everything else seemed to work. You had regular, proper places you could go to. You could, all of those things by the 90s, by the mid 90s, late 90s, all of those things had collapsed in the country. The structure of the country has collapsed. Hence why the NFF does not work. At the point in time, Nigeria used to attract the likes of Bonfrey Joe as a technical director. We can't attract that skill set anymore. Why? Because when even him, if you go back in the day, there were news about his contract and how some of the money they owed him was not paid on time. They did not pay it before. When he finally left, it took 6 months before they paid him. Like, why? How do you want somebody to come and work for you and harness good talent for you when you're owing the person money? So let's not make this thing sound like
Cameroon just hired Patrick Vieira.
Yes, because
Cameroon
let me
just
tell you
hired
something.
Patrick
Listen,
Vieira.
don't compare. Listen, don't compare. Let me say this to you: never compare Nigeria to Cameroon.
I
because
said Senegal,
Senegal, Cameroon, and all these other countries.
Cameroon,
yeah, okay. Senegal, Ivory Coast, Ghana, all these other countries are more organized than Nigeria. That's the bottom line. Go to their country and see. They may not be as rich as us. They may not have as much money, but they're organized. Dude, I lived in East Africa for 3 years. Rwanda has 24 hours light. Players can go and train in the night, outdoor stadium with floodlights. How many players in Nigeria can go to national stadium in the middle of the night to try and train, to up their skill sets? What are we doing here? This is a country issue. That's the bottom line. The footballing aspect of it is an offshoot. If you fix the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, and put it back into the country the way it is, it will fail. If you fix the NFF and put it back.
The problem is, where do we start from?
From the top? Vote for the right people to run the country properly. Then they will put the right people in power, and those right people will then come and run the NFF correctly. You are not fixing this problem from the bottom. You are not. It's never going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Can I please come in? Let me just say one or two things.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah. That you have said everything already. You know. Ayo is right, because the problem basically that's affecting our football is the economy itself and the government. You understand? You know, everything about this country is corruption. Every sector, every angle here is corruption, and that's the basic truth. And another factor that affects our country football is will I say tribalism, yes. Tribalism, this factor of saying, okay, me, I'm a Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, okay. Anybody that is in power, probably the NFL president or probably the coach, will want to bring in his own people instead of him selecting the best team. You get my point. You understand? So I can remember vividly with that word that you said. During the days of Prophet Joe, though I was a little boy then, but I heard the story and I heard that it was the head of state that appointed Prophet Joe direct. I may be wrong, I may be right. Perhaps I didn't. It was a direct contact with the. I think it was.
And that's not how it should be done. You should have your sporting director, your people in the sports, Ministry of Sports, your sporting director do their homework. You just appointed a guy. I'm the president. Boom. How do you want to fix it? How do you want to fix it then? Of course, sorry, my brother. Sorry, hold on. If the president appoints you by himself, nobody else can speak to you. You are now in charge of everything.
That's the
so basically, we've done it backwards as a nation, and we wanted the football to work. When you talked about talent now, another thing is this. Think about this. With how messed up things are for a lot of people in Nigeria, you think a talented kid is hoping to stay there he doesn't have facility to harness his talent. He cannot walk around in the night, go stadium after school, say, let me go and train some more. There is no football academies that are running that can help you, groom you, and show you the basics. Hence why half these talents, once they get out of the country, don't want to come back to play for the country. You can't blame them. We can't make this this issue is way beyond just the football. I saw the topic and I was thinking to myself, Solomon is opening a can of worms that cannot be fixed. It can't be fixed, right? I'm not saying it in a bad way. Right now, it cannot be fixed because that's not the real cause of the problem. The real cause of the problem should be a good government that allows the different parts of it to work. And if they don't do, let's assume this Minister of Sports hired Bonfrejo and Bonfrejo failed. The president can step in and say, fire that guy because you're trying to keep your guy in that job. No, fire him. But when the president appoints him, even the Minister of Sports cannot fire Bonfrejo.
Yeah. I think Costa was talking to the head of the direct. He was.
Yeah.
You understand? It was a deal with him direct. So anything if they need money, if they need to do camping, blah blah blah, You understand? You just walk
To
out
the
to him
extent,
direct.
to the extent where the head of state would tell West Ham, I like this player. You must make sure he plays a lot of games, though.
Yes,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
exactly. Was like telling him you have to win this cup for us. If you don't win, I will. You understand? Kind of threatening him. I will sack you. I will arrest you. Understand? So, and to be honest, there was result then. Yes, there was result. Even though it was a bad structure, but then we had a good result in those days, in the
You,
days
you know,
of
you
that.
know, do you know why we had good results? Do you know why we had good results? From the
Okay,
80s, to the 90s, as Nigeria was
yeah,
going, as things were getting bad, a lot of
okay,
talented footballers were looking at playing for the Super Eagles as a means of getting out of the country.
Mm.
yes, you are right.
So a
Fact,
lot of players were like, I've got to make it to the under 15, then under 17, then under 19, then under 21, under 23. If once
you are right.
people know me, clubs will come for me and I can get out of here. Hence why a lot of our best talent back then, because there was not many ways to get out there. But now that there's internet, people know they can put their video online, juggle the ball, do their own thing, and scouts are watching
Mm,
all these videos. So now there's many other ways that they can find those talents. But back then, the only way to see some of the best talents were those who played for the country. Hence why those talents came, played for the country, and disappeared. Do you know how many World
yeah,
University games, Nuga games I went to that I saw footballers?
mm,
I went to school with a guy who made it to the Super Eagles, played for Wolves in England, and played for Super Eagles for some time. Yeah, he did. He did well. He came back to play for the country, but I don't think he lives in the country anymore. Sheyola Fijano.
what? Yes, okay. That means did you go to Lautech?
I went to Lautech Ogbomoso. That's my school. I went to Lautech. I was one of the very first sets with Sheyi. Sheyi played football. I did judo at the time. We went to Nuga games together a few times. In fact, there was another guy, Gani, who could play better than Sheyi in our school team. When they made it to World University games, that one disappeared. Nobody saw him again.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
In Spain. Yeah. This
I
is why,
know.
because what are you
I know
coming back
about Sheyi.
to?
You're right. You're right. I know about Sheyi very well. Olafejano at Lautech. You're right.
Yeah, he played in the lorry. He played for a team in the lorry during for the league then. And when he finally broke out, because that's how most of these players looked at it. Most of the see, if the Nigerian Football Federation is to be fixed, the only way to fix Nigerian football now is to go back and fix Principal's Cup in secondary schools where talents were
God
being
bless.
found. When you fix
Yeah,
secondary school football, you go back and try and fix the league football. Now, if you can privatize the league and people can come and make money owning clubs, like sell these clubs, don't make them state clubs. All these shooting stars Ibadan, that is the government that is funding it, or is this no? Sell all these clubs to private companies, let them be able to make money from it, run the league properly, forget about the government. You will see new talent to come out. They will be able to
mm,
play locally and earn good money. And if they can earn good money, they don't need to run to Europe.
Yeah.
mm,
But Dio,
you're right.
I let me pick you on that side. You are talking about the talent, right? You're talking about it's not the problem has never been the talent. The problem is administration. So how do we solve the administration?
You can't solve the
This is
administration.
beyond normal.
Like I
This
told
is
you, see, listen,
beyond
you're looking at the football administration. It's the country administration that needs to fix the football administration. Again, let me tell you this. Back in the day, imagine your president selecting the technical director of a football team. Who
Yeah,
can fire that guy now? Nobody. The sport minister of
nobody.
sports cannot talk to him. Sporting director cannot talk
Yes,
to him. Nobody can tell him.
yeah,
Governor cannot tell him, oh, yeah, you did not. Because guess what? A president called you up and put you in power. That's not how things are done. If the
yeah,
country is not run properly, it will affect everything inside the country. There's no way that you have a country where, okay, all of a sudden the president is the one deciding, I'm going to put this guy as my technical, and then he now tells the guy, oh, I like this player. The player must play, if the technical director needs his salary, he speaks to the president directly. What is that? You bypass the whole hierarchy. That means you have made your football federation useless. You've cut their hands.
mm,
They can't do anything. And that has ingrained itself in the Nigerian system, where all of a
mm,
sudden the football federation is just a toothless monster that they just feed money into and people just chop the money. That's all it is
mm,
now. It's not even about talent. Again, my point is, the reason I brought up the talent is I said, even if you try to go from the talent side of things to fix it, it can only be fixed to a certain extent where players can at least earn good money playing for clubs, which will keep them in the country, which will allow them not feel too bad if they play for Nigeria, and Nigeria does not pay them. You understand? Like they are making good money, they'll be happy. Hence why that would at least fix the quality of players that you have. Now you may still have a crappy manager, but the quality of the players then increases. So now you have quality players with an okay manager. Maybe we can do better. Then eventually a good manager out there will look at the quality of the football league. Like look at South African league. There are a lot of managers out in Europe that are like, if I'm going to retire my career, I can go there and be a manager. It's not a bad league. You'll still make money there. You know? So for me, that's the key thing. Like we can fix those things, but the federation itself, it's under the federal government. That system, it's not an independent body on its
let me
own.
say this, right? Let me give this instance, right? So I used to like Nigerian Premier League, right? Even though we don't have it is a shame that I can't even either live in Nigeria, I cannot watch the Nigerian Premier League live. Like I can't watch it live. So there was a time about 4 years ago, about 5 years ago, they developed an app promising us that we can watch the league, the Nigerian Premier League there. So what I did was, I actually was very happy when I got the notification. So I downloaded the app, I subscribed. I think it was about 3,000 or I think it's 1,500 or 3,000 naira there. So I did the subscription that I want to, as in monthly subscription. So I activated just to watch because I like watching Eyimba. I love Eyimba. The first Nigerian club that I got to know was Eyimba when Eyimba was there, when they won the CAF Champions League.
I remember.
So I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch Eyimba. So do you know the funniest part?
Yeah.
After subscribing for that amount of money, after subscribing that 3,000 naira, you know that I was only able to watch one live game and one highlight. After that, the app no open again. The app no open again.
So guess what? You just answered your own question. Listen, you just answered your own question. Because there's nobody that is going to hold them accountable, which is the corrupt government cannot hold the corrupt agency accountable. So hear what I'm saying. Because the agency knows nobody can do anything to them because the government themselves are corrupt and the government are not going to come after them. They can do whatever they like. So asking the question, how do we fix the NFF? It is not by fixing the NFF. It's by fixing the very top. Because if the top is correct, everything. Let me ask you a question. How did Visit Rwanda get on Arsenal's jersey? They had a president who fixed their country, got them to a place, said tourism is the way we can actually make a lot of money, looked around the world, had created a good name. Rwanda in 1994, when Nigeria was in World Cup shining, Rwanda was having a genocide. Few years later, Rwanda is a tourist country with full 24 hours electricity, advertising their brand on Arsenal's jersey. My word, change because the government at the top was working. That's it. That's it. That's the solution. There's no conversation that anybody can have with me and they'll tell me, oh, maybe if we get a good coach, maybe we get a good minister of sports, maybe it's a lie. It's a lie.
So what you are saying now is that if the politics does not get better, nothing will work, as in our football cannot work.
Nothing will work, not just the football. Ask yourself, why is it that we were supplying electricity, right, to Ghana for years? They had 24 hours electricity. We could not have 24 hours electricity in Nigeria because of the politics. Ask yourself that question now. Like, what are we? I mean, let me see.
Power.
Yeah, we used to supply power to them. We used to, I think, up until they built their own dam and everything. We were supplying, and they had 24-hour light. We could not have 24 hours light. Ask yourself, if you don't fix the foundation, nothing that you put on top it will stand well. The problem is the foundation of the nation is shaky. Hence why when people join the NFF, oh, I'm now the new NFF director. Oh, I can chop money. Nobody will arrest me. Okay. I don't need to pay players. Fair. And then the one that now chooses to do it. Oh, I'm going to pay the players. I'm going to do everything right. They'll say, Oga, the money is not trickling down now. We heard that the government allocated 300 million. You're supposed to collect 15 in your pockets. Give that guy 10. Give me 10. But you're paying the players. We are not seeing anything here. They are the guys that will push you out of there. They will find a way to get rid of you. So the issue now, so the issue is if we can get a government that works and there's consequences for actions, when people try to do bad, they get arrested, people will now start to behave themselves, or they get taken to court, or you get a penalty or a fine. There should never be a place where our federal government should be the one calling the shots for our sporting activities, whatever sporting activity it is. It doesn't matter whether it's football, tennis, whatever. They should never be the ones. It should be the professionals who are there. But guess what? Even those professionals, their hands are tied. How do you have a minister of sport, a director of sport with the Nigerian Football Federation, and then your president picks the technical director, handpicks him? And at that time, no Nigerian thought there was anything wrong with it. Oh, he wants the best for the football team. And I'm like, no, you've just hand tied everybody else between you and that guy. Nobody can talk to that guy again. If that guy, yeah, you've given him all the power.
It's the reason why
all the power
has rules against that as well.
Yeah, so again, that's the issue with fixed, which is why I said the problem is at the top. We fix that. If we fix that, we get the right people in power, people who can hold people accountable. Guess what? Everything will fall into place. For example, there's always money allocated by the Ministry of Sports for youth sports because Nigeria was big. The Golden Eaglet under 17 and 15 back in the day, there's still that budget consistently every year, year in, year out. We have that budget. But what is it that we do with that budget? Why don't we? What happened to Principal's Cup? They died. They changed the name and they privatized it, and it's still nothing right now. So yeah.
For me, right? Why I'm just saying is that as I saw JJ Okocha, Mikel Obi. I don't know how many of you have watched. Did you watch that pod between JJ Okocha and Mikel Obi? When they were discussing the Nigerian football. Did you watch the Mikel podcast? Mikel Obi's podcast, the one with JJ.
No, unfortunately, no.
My question is, okay, hold on. Well, now if you look at this game, right, Dio, like what I found out was that a bit of our sports is doing well. Like our Olympics team are doing well. The only problem is, yes, we still have that challenge with getting them the materials they need, not being able to provide them with proper accreditation. But we have the talent to actually do well. Like, yes, but we have the talent to actually do well. For example, that Cameroon team that actually knocked us off, that won that tournament, we were better than them. Actually, even on the field of play, despite the fact that we were not properly maybe prepared, we were still better than them on the field of play. But can't we just get this a structure that actually works?
We can't get this. You're being sentimental, Solomon. You're being sentimental. You're talking from an emotional place. Being better than somebody else on the pitch is because of your talent. If your organization is bad, it does not matter how talented you are. Just because I'm a better footballer, let me tell you the truth. We've always had good, talented people, but there is no structure. And when there is no structure, talent can only carry you so far. You can get on the pitch and dribble 5-6 people, score a goal, but realize that I don't even know how I'm going to fly back to my country because they may not arrange a flight for me. You don't need your players thinking about that on the pitch. That's what. Meanwhile, the other team, they know how they get there. They know how they'll get home. They know that they know that Nigeria is better than them on the pitch. They're like, if we can just score one and hold on, we'll win this game. It's almost like we become so sentimental that we're like, oh yeah, but we have the talent. What can we add to it? No. The issue is from the very top, and that's the issue. Everything else will fall into place once that foundation is fixed. Once the foundation is fixed, everything else falls into place. If we don't fix the foundation, forget it. There's nothing you can put in place. There's no structure you can put in place. You think these players don't think about it? The time Nigeria was going to play football somewhere, we had our players sleeping on the concrete floor in the airport.
That's exactly what I was going to bring.
In the airport. And then those same guys are now not sure how they're going to fly back to where they're going to because they're not sure whether you arrange their ticket or their transport. And then they're on the pitch playing. And then you now send them an email that if they don't win the game, they don't get their bonus. They've not even gotten the standard allowance. Now you want that guy to be on the pitch playing well. How now? How? He's talented, but how? Like, what are we doing here? But if the people that are supposed to be in charge of the structure were held accountable by a good government, they know that they will be arrested. They know they'll face a judiciary system. They know that they will have to get penalized. They know they can lose their job. They'll do their job correctly. And if you do your job correctly, that means that you'll make sure that the flight was booked, checked, double checked. If there's no, if the flight is going to be late, you make sure there's a hotel backing where they can sleep. There's transportation for all that. Like, they will do their job if they know there's consequences, but they know there's no consequences. Hence why we see what we're seeing.
For everything. People, you want to say something before I go on? People?
Yeah. And then use that for example now. How do you expect a sports person that doesn't sleep comfortably or sleep well the night before the match to then perform to their optimum? Even if they're better technically on the pitch, their actual energy levels and fatigue is still there. Like, okay, we can put 1,000 passes together, but how far can you run? How well can you perform in the critical moments with jet lag and everything? It just doesn't add up.
But have we really thought of it this way, right? Hold on a minute. We have been told that the National Sports Commission and also the NFF are independent body on their own, right? Is there no possibility of that independent body if that independent body is being taken over by the right people? For example,
let's not do this. Solomon, we know Nigeria. What you are doing, no. Let's not pretend. We know the country we come from. I know the country that I came from, and I can tell you this categorically. You can come and tell me independent body, but we know that they are not independent with the way they operate and the way they are treated. First, we cannot now assume when we know that the government that says they are independent is actually the one holding them and telling them what to do. We can now ask the question, can we get the right people to just come and run it when we know that they are really not independent? They are independent by name, not independent by action or methods. That's the big difference. That's the big difference. They are independent by name. You look, just because I give birth and name my child independent does not mean that the child is independent. I'm still the one paying the school fees, still doing everything. That's exactly how the NFF is. It's the federal government squeezing them. So I don't believe that, so that question for me, I just think it triggers me because it's like, we know what the issues are. And those are the issues we should be addressing.
Yeah, and
those are the issues. How can we use football to effect a good change in the government so that football survives? Like all our big stars that have gone out and made it, and those that have made it through the Super Eagles, can they come and start speaking up, please? Can they speak up? I'm not saying speak up and so that the government will arrest you, no, but speak up for the sport. Speak up for privatization of the league, so that a private company can come and take it over and they can run it properly and it can start generating money so that football players can get paid properly. And if they are paid properly, I think that's just step one. You'll be able to find new talents that will be willing to stay in the country. At least if the talent pool is closer to the country, even if it's training, private companies you can privatize it in such a way that any sport that Nigeria is going to go and play, it's a private company that is sponsoring it. And so that private company then has all the branding. We are the ones taking you to this World Cup. But it is MTN, and MTN's logo will be on every school bag, every sports bag, just like Adidas. That's another way to do it. But they don't want to do that because if you privatize it, government people cannot chop money. They are independent by name. They are not independent by action. No. Let's not do. We know this.
Can you guys hear me right? You can hear me right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I will say, what I'm saying is that if we get some of the people who actually are into the football, for example, like the likes of, because one of the reasons, I used to tell you a favor, I'm angry at the likes of Mikel Obi and co, likes of Mikel Obi, JJ Okocha, Kanu Nwankwo, all these guys. Why are we having people who don't know about football as our presidents, as our NFF president? If we have those ones there, at least those ones could help.
When we had the likes of Stephen Keshi, hold on. When we had the likes of Stephen Keshi and Shegun Odegbami and all these guys in charge, what happened still? Nothing. There was no change. So it's not the footballers. It's not people who know football that is the issue. We've had people there who knew football. They will be yes or no. Did anything change at that time? No, nothing changed. So that's the point. The point is you've tried people who played football, who know football, who got coaching licenses. So now what do you think? What change do you think JJ or Mikel Obi is coming to make right now? When Stephen Keshi, who was literally Nigeria's captain, fantastic in the history of Nigerian football, could not make a change. Shegun Odegbami, one of the greatest, when you're talking about Nigerian icons of football, could not make a change. Like, what are we like? It's not the people, it's the structure. Deal me. If you keep looking at the people, there is no solution there. I'm telling you, there is no solution on that side of it. If you have a good structure, you can put anybody, because guess what? The structure will help them dictate what they need to do, how they need to do it. what is the standard for who we hire as our technical director? These are the qualities that we always want. So all the person has to do is follow these rules, follow this quality, and know that they are accountable. If they don't do it, they can be arrested. But the idea that you think it's the football guys, they are put in there.
The problem now is
there's no structure there. So whoever you put there will do whatever they like.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll allow you go on. But the thing with the football thing, what me I'm all about is that if, okay, for example, they are calling for the sack of the current NFF chairman right now. They are calling for the sack. And I don't know how an NFF chairman becomes as powerful as a governor of the state, that people are actually fighting. Like, they conduct the election like re-election. Like, they used to have campaign. Like, it's just mad. Some things that happen is mad to me. So we want some, okay, for the failure, we said, we don't want you again. We are saying we don't want you again.
Who appointed him in the first place?
Just leave the thing for us.
Who appointed him in the first place?
We failed everywhere. Women's football, men football, under 21, under 17, nothing. We failed.
Let me say this. Listen to this. Whoever you bring in now again,
we say we want
listen now. Listen, bro. Listen.
That's all
I'm not
asking for.
Listen, heads rolling does not fix the issue. Anybody you bring in after this guy will fail again, because there's no structure there. Anybody you bring in after that person will fail again.
There's actually an election.
No, there is no structure.
There's actually an election.
Listen, what I mean, an election is not structure. That's not what I'm talking about. An election is not structure. I don't care who you vote for next. I don't care if you go and bring Pele from the grave and put him there. There is no structure in that system, so the person will fail. That's all I'm saying. So all this aggravation towards this one guy, yeah, it's your right. It's your right to say, hey, we want somebody else. I think you failed us. Yeah, fair enough. But the people, I think that you're attacking the wrong issue. The issue is that there's really no structure there, so he can do whatever he likes, hence why he's failed. He just said it himself. The guy is so powerful, he's like a governor, like they're unable to get him out of there.
If the election is like a governor's election, that's already crazy in itself.
Like what are we like? Do you understand? Like, how do you get? Yeah, I've said this many times. The issue with Nigeria has never been, it's just a structural thing. It's just a structured thing. If there was a proper structure in that system, in that country, and there used to be a structure. There used to be a time when I was growing up where cars with even numbers would drive on Monday, cars with odd numbers would drive on Tuesday. Traffic was very limited. People used to carpool. There was a time where they used to deliver milk to the front of our door.
No way.
Whether you were rich or poor, you could get those milk in cartons. They will bring it. There was a time when they had video clubs where you can go and rent videotape, and they trusted you to bring it back.
Wow.
There was a time where in Nigeria, like, things worked. The buses worked. The problem is there's no structure there. So whoever you put in that position, guess what? Yeah, right now, sentiments are, we failed everywhere, so we're angry, with a head must roll. But that doesn't fix the NFF. You've just removed one figurehead to vote in another figurehead who's going to meet the same system, who does not know how to fix it, and then he too will fail. Then the cycle will continue. You get mad again, vote another person. Get mad again, but no. How do you fix the NFF? Fix the country so that there's structure, so there's accountability. The president should be speaking. This is where the president should be speaking up now. That why is your elections going crazy? Why this is where but you don't have that accountability. You have a guy who's God to himself. So yeah.
Let's use Chelsea as an example now. Yeah, Chelsea would have 5 or 6 bad seasons, keep changing managers until they get one good manager that delivers them trophies for maybe 1 season or 2 seasons, and then it still goes back downhill again. So what you're basically trying to do is get somebody that will deliver good performances but won't be long lasting. That's where the issue might be as well, because without the structure, it definitely won't be consistent. Solomon, are you mute?
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
No, I can't. It's his connection.
Yeah, so that's the issue, man. That's the issue, my brother. Like,
Changing just a quick stopgap. It's not going to change anything in the long term.
Yeah, and the long term should be the goal. This whole being upset now that we feel that everything, all of a sudden, when the Super Eagles failed, nobody was really upset. Oh, okay, well, yeah, the women will do well. Then the women failed. Then the under 17 failed. Oh, no, now we want you out. But this was going to happen. This was going to happen, bruh. Like, what is this? You either start again and say, okay, because of the way Nigeria is, I need somebody that's going to come in there and say, I'm going to stick with the manager, I'm going to back him up, and I'm going to try to build a team that can win in 4-5 years for Nigeria. Because I'm not going to fight the establishment, the president and his people. I'm just going to do it in a very tedious way, the hard way around, and explain it to the fans, and just explain your process and just go through that hard route. But the idea that we think that, oh, this short term, man, yeah, it's wild. Like, it's wild west out there.
The short term, especially in international football, barely.
But fine, let me just ask, guys, what is the solution? What should we do now? What do we do forward for the football fan? What should we do? What should we do for the football fan? What should we do?
In terms of what we should do now, personally, I think it's just find a way to get those who are in charge towards our accountability. Make sure that they're doing what's right and what's even if it's very hard to actually police, get them to give you results and give you the actual outcomes and what they're working towards, not just okay, I'll give you so amount of money, because then when you give them the money, you still don't see where the money is going to, you still don't see what it's going towards. So if they're held accountable after the end of every year or every season or whatever, make them give you a proper account, and then you still have to verify those accounts as well, not them just giving you anyhow paperwork. So that's the first bit. And then once they're verified, or if there are any discrepancies towards their results and towards whatever, then you get rid of them, and then you start afresh with whoever is picked again. And then they from seeing what happened to the previous people in power, now know they have to actually fix up. That's literally the first step. If you can't do that, then there's a very big problem.
Well, but the truth of the matter is that now we are saying we don't want Gusau. Now Gusau should just leave, so we can put someone else there. And because of what he, just like the way the politics used to play, he's not leaving. The National Sports Commission is asking him to step down, and there is back and forth. And being a football fan, it hurts me so much that.
Can you imagine in a sports sector, the person in charge is telling you that they're not going to go down
when they're being told to step down? So do you realize that the problem is not the sports sector, but the way the government is run? Because that's how our presidency is run. Again, this is the solution to the problem. The problem is that you have National Sports Commission is telling the Sports Commission of the nation. This is not the local sports commission. This is not the interim sports commission. This is the National Sports Commission of Nigeria. The people that the NFF are directly under, right, are saying to the NFF director, chairman, step down. And the guy says no. And there's no consequence for that action. The issue is not about the football anymore. It's about the systems and the methods. And that in itself is the problem. Because if there is no mechanism to hold somebody accountable, when your boss says you are fired, you need to step down, and you refuse, and they cannot get you out of there, that's what needs to be fixed. And how do you fix that? You fix that from the very top. The president needs to step in now and say, hey, If the sports commission is asking you to step down, you either step down right now, or we're sending a special police force to come and pick you up, arrest you, because you are breaking the law because you are in a federal job at a federal building where you no longer work, where you've been asked to leave. So you have done breaking and entering. But guess what? There's no accountability. There's none, because
I
that's
think
what
is that not what FIFA say that should not get into like FIFA? Is that not politics getting into football? I think they said that
this is the country. No, this is the country making sure that its agency runs the way it's supposed to run. The National Sports Commission is under the federal government of Nigeria. The National Sports Commission has the power to fire any of the other sporting directors or chairmen under it. It is part of the law and the system. But the problem in Nigeria is nobody's ever held accountable. So now somebody will sit down there and they tell you you're fired. It's like you working at a job and they tell you you're fired and you show up there the next day. Do you think they cannot call police for you?
They'll get you. They'll get you
arrested. Imagine working for a company where you badge in. You have to badge in every morning to get through the gate, and then they fired you and you don't return the badge. People have been arrested for that.
They'll get you trespassed as well.
Yeah, that's trespassing. So what are we saying now? This guy has been told to step down by his bosses at the sports club, and he says no. So number one, he's trespassing. So just involve the local police and go and arrest him. Get him out the building. Get his stuff out the building. Make it public that he's been fired. Put it on the news, and let him know. If nobody listens to it, lock him out the system. Don't they have IT department that can block his email and lock him out the system? What are we doing here? This is why I said there's no structure there. So because there's a structure, the guy knows he can do whatever he wants and nobody can stop him.
Honestly, when I saw the news today, it was just, and the funniest part is that, okay, now we have failed, right? We have failed now. We have a couple of years to sort ourselves out. If we don't start taking steps now, we will remain the way we are, like this, like that. We just stay. We will stay the way we stay till the next AFCON, till the next World Cup again. Then we go back to the same. I don't understand. And to the fact that you see what is going on in football, the way how football is changing life, how this, we have Victor Osimhen, one of the best strikers in the world right now, coming from Nigeria, and he missed out on this World Cup. And this guy is likely not to play any tangible World Cup throughout his career. And we don't know. And funny enough, hold on. The funniest part is that if you look at the group that we were supposed to be in, if we had qualified directly, we would have been in Group A, right? If we had qualified, we would have been in Portugal's group. There was a chance. There was a chance somewhere. Yes, maybe not win, but there was a chance somewhere. I just knew there was a chance.
Hold on, but let me say this to you. I think Nigerians as well, sometimes we get overexcited about where we are in the footballing world. Yes, we have individual talent, but as a nation, a senior team, how many times have we gone to the World Cup since the World Cup has started in the history of the World Cup? Our first time was in 1994. Let's not make it seem like we've been going or that we qualify and we'll get chances. No, there was no chance.
Compared to other African teams,
listen, it's not about good. Listen, it's not about good. Other African teams in Africa have gone to the World Cup more than us. Cameroon has made it there more than us. There's countries that can be upset that they didn't make it to the World Cup because they've been able to do it before. We don't have a precedent of going to the World Cup regularly. We have a precedent of producing very, very individualistic, solid talent worldwide. Yes, that one we do. But when it comes to being a national team, we've not been a successful national team at all. Our most successful team was our Olympic team, the under-23, that had about 4 senior players in it. And that's the reality of what the national team has been. Our most successful team was our under-17, under-21s, the Golden Eaglets, who won the Junior World Cup, the Flying Eagles, who made it to the finals and got silver medal. Those are our most successful. Our senior team has never been a World Cup going team. Our players, though, are some of the best, but the national team put together, which is why I said the structure in the national team is messed up. Hence why no matter what we do, you can't have the best players in Africa and have a bad structure and expect it to work. Simple, done. It's not like Nigeria. Ghana can boast of going to the World Cup at least 3 times. Senegal, I think they've done it 3 or 4 times. We've been to the World Cup 1994 once. I think the next time, that's it. Did we qualify in 98? I don't remember.
We have. Let me check. I know we went to we went to Korea, Japan now. We went to Korea, Japan.
Yeah, so we've gone to the World Cup twice in our life, and the first time was 1994. The second time was Korea.
More than. Yeah, we also went to this thing to Russia. The one was it the one they played in Russia that Ahmed Musa scored? Ahmed Musa.
No. So yeah.
Was it not Brazil? Not Brazil.
No, there was. Let me just check. Let me get my facts right. Let me get my facts right. How many times? How many times?
We've gone a few times, but our this thing does not speak well for us. 2018 we were eliminated in the group stage. 2014 we reached round of 16. 2010 eliminated in group stage. 2002 eliminated in group stage. 1998 reached round of 16. 1994 reached round of 16. Our best run has always been round of 16. We've been eliminated in every group stage that we've been at. We've been eliminated more in group stages.
Yeah, somebody said it. We have been in the World Cup 6 times. The other African team, apart from Cameroon, the other African team, apart from Cameroon, have been in the World Cup for fewer times. Only Cameroon has gone further, has been as more than.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we are not even. You were saying we had a chance in that group, and I was like, what precedents have we set in the World Cup to give us a chance? The best we've done is a round of 16. We've been eliminated in the group stages more times than we've actually made it to round of 16. The 6 times we've been there, we've gone to round of 16. How many times? 1, 2, 3.
3 times.
Eliminated in the group stages. 1, 2, yeah. So our chances are 50%. We've been eliminated in the group stages 3 times, eliminated in round of 16 3 times. So we don't have a precedent as a World Cup nation that there is a chance. I'm happy if we make it. I want to see us do well, but and this is all because of our structure. In fact, the 1996 team that won the gold in the Olympics did that by sheer talent.
Anyway, let me ask this final question before we wrap up and we just go, because basically it's just something I need to so the news that was coming out that this is the thing that I wanted you guys to see. So let me just share this little article from where is it? Let me just share this article on the screen. Yeah, you go. Yeah. Can you guys see?
No, it's not.
You guys get me on the screen.
I can hear you, but I think what you're loading, you've not loaded it yet.
Okay, it's trying to come up. I don't know. I think this network or something. Yeah, I think it's up now, but it's not coming. It's not adding to stage. So anyway, the news is all. It is titled the NFF the top NFF officials head to presidential villa and make resignation drama. Now, when you were told to resign, I don't know where they decided to go. They went to have a meeting with the president. This is from Ongo now. He said, when you said top NFF official head to presidential villa and make resignation drama. I don't know why. How can you be asked to resign and then you're like what Dayo said, and presidential villa to go and do what?
Let me ask you one question.
To go and do what exactly?
England, when you watch England, when they do changes, do you even hear of the changes until it happens? No. You don't even hear anything.
No.
They can change it. No. They can change the person above him. You don't hear anything. You just hear that they have appointed so and so as their new head of football. And then the next thing is that you see them on the touchline, you see them on the news making statements.
Just like what I said, there's no structure in Nigeria. Why should any president entertain this? Because if there was a structure, they just simply need to hold that guy accountable. That's my point. Why should any president entertain people at the presidential villa to come and discuss football when there's other things in the country that are bigger than that happening? But he has time to settle a fight between an NFF chairman and the agency that he put in charge of the NFF chairman, the National Sports Commission. Like, just think about that for a second. That tells you there's no structure. There should be a structure in place that says to this guy, you're fired, you're done. But there's none. So guess what? It is he who has more friendship with the president that wins this case. If the NFF chairman is him and Tinubu are cool, guess what? He's going back to his job.
Exactly. And that's the unfortunate situation.
And that's the unfortunate structure that we live in. So how do you want the football to work is the question. So again, I'm not saying it out of this thing. I'm calling it as I see it. And honestly speaking, it pains me, but we have to identify the problem to be able to administer a solution, and not from a very sentimental place. We should be able to do it from a very logical place. And the logic is the president shouldn't even be getting involved. There should be a structure in place. There should be an independent governing body that steps in and says, you've been told that you should step down. If you don't step down, we're investigating you immediately. So
the football.
Anyway, so your final thoughts now, Daryl. Let me first ask you, because I know you've been very, very vocal about this, and you have been into it also. So I want to get your final thoughts. Are you telling me that we have to just fold our hands? We as fans now have to just fold our hands and watch this thing go on year after year after year after year, all because we can? There is no way. There is nothing we can do as fans.
There's nothing the fans can do. There's nothing fans can do in a country where, the structure of the government does not hold any foundation. There's nothing any fan can do. You can protest all you want. We can riot all we want. We can do all we want. At the end, we can go and block the NFF office and ask them not to let people in. Guess what? It won't change. It won't change nothing. What will change is putting the right people in power, who can then, technocrats who can sit down and say, this needs to be fixed this way. The NFF is going to be run as an independent body. The Sports Commission is basically an overseeing commission that brings in all the laws and makes sure that stuff is run. They don't come. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Sports Commission, the NFF, it is no longer by voting. He will be appointed by the executive arm of the government. And if he doesn't do his job, he works for the government. If he doesn't do his job, they can fire him. And if he feels disgruntled that we fired him, let him take us to court. Take the government to court.
Imagine where you, as an employer, are taking your employers to the president to have a discussion. Discussion about what?
Chairman employee is taking employer, National Sports Commission, to the highest office to go and have conversation. So tell me, you hire me now to be teaching your kids, like it's like lesson teacher, and then you now tell me I'm fired. I now say no. Me and you are going to go and meet your daddy to discuss. Your father must hear about this. He must come and put mouth. Meanwhile, I know your daddy. So when I get there, I can say, look at what your son is doing. It's no longer about work. Now it's about friendship. Nonsense. That's exactly what's happening. Nonsense. So how do you fix that? You can only fix it by the daddy himself. The daddy himself needed to have put a structure in place. Then that will not be able to happen. You see where I'm coming from? If the daddy had fixed it.
I get you.
So what is it that your children can do? Your children who are the fans, they can complain. We like our let's teacher. We don't like our let's teacher. We want him to go. Daddy has said he must stay. That's what you go back and tell them. Daddy has said he must stay. As I know you people don't like him, but we have seen the politics now. Your grandpapa said he must stay. That's what's just happening right now. How can he change? So the only way to fix it is, which is why I said the only way is from the top, the federal government. If we fix that and we have people who know what they're doing and they're doing it right, if I was the president, why should I be entertaining you at the presidential villa for football conversation when Boko Haram is devastating half the the nation up in the north. You're coming to me. It's like you want thunder to fire you. It's like you really want me to just go and see herbalist and turn you to rat or something, or just do something. Guy, why are you involving me? You know what? You're fired. The fact that they could even get an appointment to go to the presidential villa, do you understand how mental that is? That is like saying in England, they tried to fire Thomas Tuchel now, and then tomorrow you hear that the FA and Thomas Tuchel are going to the Prime Minister's office because Thomas Tuchel refused to step down. I want you to think about it. Or Senegal decides to fire Patrick Vieira. The president of Senegal will be having a meeting with Patrick Vieira and the sports commission because Patrick Vieira refused to step down. But how? Even if somebody smoking Igbo, you can't be thinking about those kind of things. You can't even it makes no sense. That tells me there's no structure. That's all that tells me.
Anyway, but we were winning before. Is there any way? What is our hope of winning? Because we know we were winning. At one time we were winning. Our football was at least surviving in the presence of all these rubbish. Our football is surviving. How do we just get our football to at least survive and pull through and get something out of it?
It's not going to survive again. You know why? You know why it can't survive again? It has been surviving from the very beginning, and you can only survive so long on talent and thinness.
We have talent, and talent now is much, much closer than before.
Yes. And everybody in the world, their talent is also coming up. Guess what? While other countries are putting structures in place and they have less talent, but they are growing their less talent, and their less talent is becoming more. That's like we had 100 seeds. We just threw everything on the floor. We didn't water it. Other countries have 10 seeds. They've been watering it over the years. So now their talent pool is closer to us. Hence why it's harder for us now. So if you're looking for good football, go and support a team that play good football and just watch them. If you're looking for good football from Super Eagles, don't waste your time. As of now, don't waste your time. As of now, let me tell you the truth. Sometimes I think a national boycott works better than trying to force a fix. When everybody turns their back on the NFF and the NFF has nobody viewing them, nobody interested in them, the federal government is like, you're a useless agency, we need to close you down now. Maybe people will buckle up and sit up. Maybe. Sometimes the boycott is all it takes. Like, look, if I'm going to boycott, like, let's say Arsenal is carried on doing what they were doing and didn't bring Mikel Arteta in, I didn't try to change the structure of the club. Do you know what I did? I stopped buying paraphernalia from Arsenal. I'm not giving you my money again. I unsubscribed from the app. I unsubscribed from the channel. I was not watching anything. I was like, why? Why? If you don't get anything from me, I feel better. I still love you as a club. I still support you as a nation, Nigeria. I love you, Super Eagles. I love the football. But I will boycott it if that is going to be what will trigger something. Me trying to fix it, I'm not the one that can fix it. It's the grandpa. He needs to fix it from the top. So that's why I said for now. That's why I said for now. I won't stress myself. My blood pressure will not go up because somebody has chosen to be a nuisance.
Anyway, final thoughts from guys. Final thoughts. Any final thoughts from you before we just wrap up? I don't really say no way out for us. So final thoughts. Don't tire, honestly. Tired.
In terms of it, with that last article you just showed, I didn't even know that was even the case. You can't take it. How are you taking your employer to the president? That's unheard of. That doesn't even make any sense in the first place. So until something like that is fixed, where there's a proper process in place where you get the job not from the president, you can get sacked not by the president. When things are actually put in place properly, there's literally no way to actually structure it. The talent is still there. That is undoubted. You saw how we performed in the AFCON. We played well. We played very rubbish in the qualifiers. We were even lucky to even make it to the playoffs based on the fact that we didn't beat the bottom team. That's literally the reason why we made it to the playoff in the first place. So until things like that are fixed, there's literally nothing in terms of the actual structure being put in place for us to succeed generally. But the talent is always there. It's always been there and it will always be there. Let's be honest.
Anyway, me, I've said, there's no final thought. Next election, vote for the right people so they can change the country. Everything else will work. It's the truth. That's the solution. Anybody that doesn't want to hear the truth, anybody when no one hear true now, I'm telling you, there is no fixing this thing until the next election. Vote for the right people. Make sure you have people that
it's ewa, badu, gari, akara. Those are the things that they've told us to be eating now. They have told us that they will give us enough agbado, plenty agbado and akara.
I've heard them. I don't want the agbado. They should keep the agbado. My own is that next election, vote for the right people, so that you will not it's true. Because let me tell you the truth about it. This situation where somebody has the audacity to take the National Sports Commission to the president, and the president is also listening to them and giving them an audience, says it all to me. Like I can't, my brain cannot fathom. I'm so confused that a president has time in his diary to take on a case between the National Sports Commission and the chairman that just happened. Not like they booked him since January that they're coming to see him. On a whim. On a whim, you have the time to want to sit down. That tells me all I need to know. That's not the person I want running my country. At this point, no, you can't be my president. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, you disappointed me. You should have fired you fired the sports commission. You fired the guy. You called my office. You want to book appointments. All of immediately DSS go and carry everybody. Everybody. Carry them, carry their neighbors, carry their car, carry their cats, just after you arrest everybody, we'll now decide to decipher who needs to stay and who needs to go. 24 hours first, everybody lock up. Then we'll now sit down. Oh, you are collateral. Go home. You go home. You go home. You stay. You called the presidential office to book appointment for nonsense. And you sports commission, you cannot fire somebody that is under you. You cannot get rid of him. You don't know your job. You are fired. You that you refuse to go, you're stubborn head. You're fired. All of you do 24 hours behind bar. Confirm. Because just because I'm upset, you can now sue my presidency. Say, hey, falsely I arrested you. I'll go to court. Whatever the judge says, I'll take it. If they say they should put me in jail for one day, as the president, I'll go to jail. But you call my office. Guy.
Oh, good.
I'm not even leaving. I'm just surprised.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Yes,
guys, thank you so much for joining the show today. I just felt like I need to. So thank you, Dio, for being on the channel. Thank you, people, for being on the channel. Guys, go to 1,000 subscribers. Hit the like button. Subscribe. What do you think? How do you think we get out of this stress from African football? That's what. Because sometimes when I look at other African teams, it always pains me when I saw the news that Senegal is hiring Patrick Vieira, and we are still struggling to hire managers and the rest of them. We don't even know where we are going. Actually, so guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Guys, Dio, thank you for being on the show. Favor, thank you for being on the show. Guys, hit the like button. Those of you that are in now, all of you, please hit the like and subscribe to the channel now. And go and follow Dio too. Dio is also on YouTube. Dio, your channel on YouTube.
Yeah, my channel is The Gunner Edge. I've started doing a little bit of live stream. I really didn't want to do live streams, but I think it's probably the only thing I'll be able to do because of my time constraint. But I started doing some live streams, and my channel is basically trying to humanize my players and humanize Arsenal as much as I can, because people just think that these guys just play football on the pitch. They don't realize that there's a life for them outside football, and it's important to identify those things about our players. Hence why, even like with the Nigerian players, I appreciate the ones that say no to the government, to the NFF, because they want to keep their mental health and sanity okay. They don't want to sleep on concrete in airports. I appreciate you. Do the best for yourself. It's true. You can't give what you don't have.
Sure.
If your mental health is not good enough, you're not playing at your utmost best for the nation, and you fear to play for a nation that does not even really care about you. So I think if everybody boycotts and they realize, look, we can't really, they will change. They'll change. It's because they know that now they can still call on international players and they'll come, that they'll just be like, no, we need to show them pepper. Just boycott everybody. And that president, that guy, somebody needs to write him an email. Yeah, giving audience to nonsense.
Guys, smash like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.